The alien delegation stood at rigid attention as the human ambassador approached. Their postures betrayed nothing but respectful diplomacy, yet Captain Alex Reed felt uneasy. 20 years of space exploration had taught him to trust his instincts. Ambassador Taylor, Alex whispered, "Something feels off about this meeting." Taylor nodded imperceptibly, but continued her practiced smile. "That's why you're here, Captain." The delegation of Valerians had appeared suddenly 3 months ago, offering humanity advanced technology in exchange for mining rights on an uninhabited moon in the Proxima system. Their sleek ships and superior tech had impressed Earth's leadership, too much in Alex's opinion. "We bring gifts," announced the lead alien, who called himself Krell. His humanoid form was nearly perfect, save for the slightly too wide eyes and the subtle blue tint to his skin. "Our mining techniques will be minimally invasive, and the trade benefits will advance human civilization by centuries." Taylor nodded politely as the delegation presented holographic displays of clean mining operations and miraculous technology. Alex studied their movements, the way their eyes tracked the humans in the room, predatory, calculating. When the aliens departed for their ship, promising to return with contracts the following day, Alex finally voiced his concerns more loudly. "They're hiding something," he insisted to the gathered representatives of Earth's United Council. "The technology they're offering is too advanced for such a modest request." "Captain Reed," sighed Counselor Jackson, "not every species we encounter has hostile intentions. Your military paranoia has kept us alive," interrupted General Miller, the only council member who seemed to share Alex's concerns. "Alex, what do you propose?" "Let me take a small team to Proxima. I want to see this uninhabited moon for myself before we sign anything." 12 hours later, Alex's scout ship dropped out of lightspeed at the edge of the Proxima system. His crew consisted of 3 specialists: Tom, a geologist; Mira, a xenobiologist; and Pete, communications and tactical. "Approaching the moon now, Captain," Pete reported. "No sign of Valerian vessels. The moon appeared unremarkable from orbit, cratered, dusty, typical of most non-atmospheric celestial bodies." "I'm detecting unusual mineral signatures," Tom said, studying his scanner. "Nothing in our databases matches this pattern." Alex nodded. "Take us down. Let's see what's so special about this rock." Their landing was uneventful, but what they discovered on the surface changed everything. Beneath a thin layer of moon dust lay evidence of ruins, ancient but unmistakably artificial. "These aren't natural formations," Mira said, her voice hushed with awe as they explored a vast underground chamber. "This was a civilization, and not just any civilization," Tom added, examining symbols etched into metallic walls. "These match patterns we found in the Arcturus system last year. The predecessors," Alex breathed, "the mysterious ancient race that had seemingly vanished millennia ago, leaving only scattered remnants across dozens of star systems." Pete's voice crackled over the comm. "Captain, I've been analyzing the Valerian communication patterns. They're using encryption that's suspiciously similar to—" "To what?" Alex pressed. "To the virus that wiped out Colony 7. 7 years ago, Colony 7 had gone dark after receiving a transmission from what they thought was a friendly trading vessel. When rescue teams arrived, they'd found only empty structures, no bodies, no signs of struggle, nothing. Just thousands of colonists vanished without explanation." "We need to warn Earth," Alex said, but Pete was already shaking his head. "Comms are being jammed. Something's in orbit." "A Valerian ship. It must have been cloaked, waiting to see if anyone would investigate the moon before they finalized their deal. They're hiding evidence," Mira realized. "If Earth knew this moon contained predecessor artifacts—" "It's not just about the artifacts," Alex interrupted, studying a particular section of wall that seemed to be emitting a faint pulse. "It's about what's inside them." Working quickly, the team discovered the truth. The Valerians weren't a species at all. They were biomechanical constructs, created by the last of the predecessors as vessels to house their consciousness. The moon wasn't a mining site. It was a seed bank containing millions of dormant predecessor minds waiting to be transferred into new hosts. Human hosts. The mining equipment? Tom said, horror dawning on his face. It's not for minerals. It's for harvesting. Alex finished grimly. We need to get off this moon now. Their escape was narrow and desperate. The Valerian ship pursued them through the system, weapons hot. Only a risky maneuver through Proxima's solar flares allowed them to break free and make the jump back toward Earth. They arrived barely 12 hours before the Valerian delegation was scheduled to sign the agreement with Earth's Council. Ambassador Taylor listened to their evidence with growing alarm. When they finished, she immediately called an emergency session. The Valerian delegates arrived to find not the expected signing ceremony, but a heavily armed security detail. Krell's perfect diplomat facade cracked when confronted with the evidence. You would have been elevated, he hissed, his human-like features contorting unnaturally. Your primitive species would have been honored to host our consciousness. We prefer to remain primitive and alive, Alex replied coldly. In the aftermath, humanity's approach to first contact protocols underwent a complete overhaul. No technology would be accepted without thorough investigation. No mining rights granted without extensive surveys. And most importantly, no stranger's word would be taken at face value. 5 years later, Captain Reed, now Admiral Reed, stood on the observation deck of Earth's orbital defense platform, watching ships come and go from dozens of genuinely peaceful trading partners. You know, Ambassador Taylor said, joining him at the viewport, some would say your suspicion that day saved our entire species. Alex shook his head. It wasn't suspicion, it was experience. In space, like anywhere else, if something seems too good to be true, it probably wants to hijack your brain and use your body as a vessel, Taylor finished with a wry smile. Exactly, Alex nodded. That's why you never trust strangers, at least not until they've earned it. As he watched another ship approach for clearance, Alex reflected that humanity had learned its lesson well. Their newfound caution hadn't isolated them from the galaxy. It had simply ensured they'd remain human long enough to explore it on their own terms.